With this background, we are now in a perfect position to talk about the second struggle of marketing. Marketing's, and with it, marketers' role in strategic decisions in organizations. The struggle. Traditionally, marketing, and with it, marketers, have not had much of a say in high-level organizational strategic decisions, especially those that occur in the C-suite. This is commonly stated as marketing does not have a seat at the strategy table. So this problem or struggle is really with the status of marketing and with it marketers in an organization. People have been talking about, by people I mean mostly the academics, have been talking about elevating the status of marketing in organizations. Marketers have been traditionally restricted to what is called the functional level of an organization. This is the lowest level in a multi-tiered corporation. So an organization typically has three levels: the corporate level, the SBU level, and the functional level, from the top to the bottom. And marketing has been a part of the functional level. We'll take a closer look at this structure very soon, but just wanted to give you an idea of where marketing has typically been in a multi-tiered organization. If you need to make a strategic decision, a typical organization historically does not work like this. Oh, let's get a marketer at the table to make this strategic decision. Okay, so marketers have typically not been a part of those big impactful strategic decisions in corporations. That's the struggle. Can we make marketing be a part of that discussion? A little bit more on this struggle. I personally think this struggle has a lot to do with the A view of marketing that has been so common and strong historically. We took a look at this earlier, the A view, or the narrow or restricted view of marketing in terms of just promotion, communication, and selling. So if you're interested in promoting something, promoting a product or communicating about it and selling it, it becomes typically a very micro tactical decision, right? So the A view, another way of looking at this A view now is that it is a very tactical view of marketing. Marketing is a means to an end. It is not a strategic view of marketing. Under the A view, strategy hardly has any role to play in marketing. It's mostly tactic, right? And so no wonder this A view has led marketing to be a part of the lowest level in an organization and has not earned it a seat at the strategy table. But even with the expanded B view, if some people have adopted that view, how marketing strategy has been traditionally defined is also somewhat restrictive, further contributing to this struggle. So what I'm trying to say here is that we simply haven't gone far enough in broadening the scope of marketing strategy. So even with people who have adopted a more expanded B view of marketing, they haven't simply gone far enough in defining marketing strategy as broadly as it should be to become a part of the strategy discussion in an organization. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first take a look at the traditional definition or view of marketing strategy that is part of the expanded B view, and then I'm going to present another expanded view of marketing strategy, also as part of the expanded B view. The traditional view of marketing strategy. The traditional view. Marketing strategy is nothing but STP, segmentation, targeting, positioning. That is, decisions related to a single product or brand. I call this view a single product view of marketing strategy. Now, I'm hoping that you have had a good bit of exposure on STP in an earlier marketing class. If not, I will give you a brief overview shortly, and we will take this up again when we talk about fundamentals part 3. But basically, STP is a set of decisions that you can apply to a single product or brand or even a product model that a company has. What is STP? So let's take a quick look. We'll hyperlink to slide number 22. A quick look at STP. S means segmentation, and that essentially means the market for a product / brand or model can be divided or segmented into various groups of customers based on some characteristics. So you look down on the market, you look at your customers, and you ask the question, can we slice and dice these customers based on some characteristics? That's what segmentation is. You're categorizing customers based on some characteristics. Example, customer buying fuel-efficient vehicles can be segmented based on how deeply they care about the environment. So environmental consciousness is one characteristic. And how price conscious they are. So price consciousness is another characteristic. There are other ways of doing this, but this is just an example. So for people buying fuel-efficient vehicles, you can put them in these bins, if you will, these categories of how based on how deeply they care about the environment and how price conscious they are. So S, or segmentation, stands for studying the pattern of segmentation in a marketplace. T stands for targeting. Serve one or more of the identified segments. So once you have identified various segments based on your segmentation studies, the T part of it is about a decision that you have to make about those segments. Which of these would you target and why? Let's take a look at a couple of brands that have made this decision very differently. So Tesla, for example, I hope you're aware of this brand. If not, you can navigate the website to learn more about this brand. Tesla has chosen to target high-end customers with who are also very environmentally conscious. On the other hand, let's take a look at Chevy Volt. Volt, if you look at the price right here, it will tell you that Volt is not, of course, a high-end brand, although it appeals to customers who are environmentally conscious. But there's a difference between Tesla and Volt in terms of the degree of environmental consciousness of its targeted customers. It would be fair to say, or the degree, in fact, the degree of price consciousness is what I meant to say. So Tesla customers are environmentally conscious, but much less price conscious than Volt customers, who are also environmentally conscious, but much more price conscious for whatever reason. So these brands will give you an idea of what I mean by targeting. So Tesla has chosen to target a certain segment. Volt has chosen to target a different segment. The P, or positioning, of STP involves the following. Develop a distinct image for your brand vis-a-vis competing brands for each segment you've decided to serve. So if you imagine the segment of customers who are fairly environmentally conscious but are also somewhat price conscious, and look at two brands that cater to the same segment, Prius and Nissan Leaf, you will develop a sense that they are positioned differently for that same segment of customers. So two competing brands targeting the same segment of customers, but positioned in terms of the image that they want to achieve separately. Nissan Leaf, I personally think, harpers on, or focuses on, or hammers on efficiency, fuel efficiency, a lot more than Prius does. That's not to say Prius doesn't care about it, but it doesn't want to impress upon its target market that fuel efficiency as much as probably Nissan Leaf does. That's my personal opinion. You may differ, but the concept still remains the same. Prius focuses nowadays, at least, a lot on luxury, comfort, design, etc. So slightly different positioning for these two brands that target the same segmentation. So I hope you got an idea of what STP means. Now technically you can do STP for every product model of every brand of every product in your portfolio. Now this is a mouthful. If you have a product portfolio, if you're a large corporation with a lot of products in your portfolio, you will have several different kinds of product, several different brands within each product, and several different product models within each brand. Technically, you can do an STP for every single product model. Okay? That's why I call it a single product strategy. So no wonder if you define STP as marketing strategy, or the other way around, let's think of it that way. If you say, what is marketing strategy? It is STP. You are making marketing strategy a single product thing. And no wonder marketing strategy is not seen as something that should happen at the corporate level, at higher levels in an organization. So we'll see STP in much more detail in Fundamentals Part 3. So, but I was trying to give you a brief overview of what this process of STP is. Back to the parent slide. Where does STP occur in a multi-tiered company that markets several products, that is, has a product portfolio? To understand this, let's take a look at a typical multi-tiered corporation that has a product portfolio. I've already touched upon this point, but I'll elaborate on it soon. So let's go to this slide, number 23. I apologize for the indistinctness, in the lack of clarity on this picture. It's just a scan of a page, as you can tell. Just ignore my scribblings on the side. They wouldn't be relevant for this discussion. But the first thing you notice is that in a multi-tiered organization has three levels. Corporate level, the corporation as a whole. It has what is called the SBU, Strategic Business Unit level. So the corporation is broken up into several strategic business units. These are autonomous, fairly autonomous divisions of the entire corporation. What we do here is business strategy, and then we have functions. So within each SBU, we have marketing, R&D, human resource, operations, etc. So you can see that marketing strategy, the way this diagram puts it, is marketing strategy for product market entry X. Simply means that if you choose strategic business unit 1, it has several products, and you can do marketing strategy for each of these products. So if there are X, Y, Z are 3 products, you can do a marketing strategy for X, Y, and Z separately. How has that come about? Well, that has come about because marketing strategy has been defined in terms of STP. So to the world out there, traditionally, what is marketing strategy? It is STP. And by definition, as we've seen, STP applies to single products or brands or individual models. And so, no wonder that marketing has been restricted to the functional level, the lowest level of an organization. Okay? It has had no role traditionally to play at the SBU level or the corporate level. So, to put that differently, traditionally marketing strategy has happened here in a multi-tiered organization with a product portfolio. It has happened very less or none at this level, and almost none at this level. Now the picture is changing, I understand, but that's what the struggle has been. How can we take marketing strategy and make it a part of this level and this level? My short view is that to make that happen, we cannot define marketing strategy just in terms of STP. We need a new definition, new conceptualization of marketing strategy. Before I articulate my view of that new definition, new look of marketing strategy, I wanted to give you an idea of how you can enhance your understanding of a multi-tiered corporation. I apologize that I haven't mentioned a brand that you can use to do so, but take a look at any corporation, go to their website and see how they're structured, how the corporation is structured. For example, Toyota. Toyota has at least 2 divisions. You have Camry and you have Lexus. Those are 2 of its SBUs. Procter & Gamble has several SBUs under it. So does Nestle. And so if you go and familiarize yourself with the structure of these organizations, another good example is PepsiCo, or PepsiCo North America would be an easier one for you. You would be able to kind of get an idea of what I mean by the corporate level, the SBU level, and the functional